And hello, YouTube, and welcome back to another episode of the Zone TV Entertainment with me, your host, Jonathan, once again bringing you my thoughts and review for tonight's episode of the CW. This is Arrowverse Superman and Lois, Season 4, Episode 9. We are one episode. This is basically the last episode before the series finale and the end of the Arrowverse next week. So buckle up, let's talk about it, and spoilers ahead. So this week's episode, we all know that everybody knows the secret. The secret is out. Everybody knows now. Lex Luthor has gotten John's power suit, turned it into his own power suit, which we all seen in the comics. Lex's ultimate power suit with the kryptonite powers, and he wants to use it to destroy Superman once and for all. We also get to see the return of Doomsday in this episode as well, and this time around we get to see Lex kind of basically kill him again to make him more comic accurate Doomsday, how we all know he's supposed to be. And it leads into a big battle of Doomsday versus Superman. But before that, let's talk about how we had Lois Lane trying to talk to Mannheim, who's now in prison, and telling him, hey, listen, we need to find a way to get Lex back in jail permanently this time around, because he's coming for everybody. He's coming after me. He might come after your kid, you know, so we need to figure out something. So there was that. Also, Lex Luthor decided to name his assistant, like, second in command of LexCorp, so that's something. And we all know Superman's powers are deteriorating due to the fact that he has his father-in-law's, weakened heart already. So he's trying to get the boys ready to fight the power suit by having them do test runs, and it's not working. Obviously, the boys still need kind of more training. And now we get to the ending where Superman fights Doomsday, comic accurate Doomsday, and the fight's on. The boys use their powers to try to get the people out of the town. Lois is trying to calm down the beast. Not working either. So, a lot of interesting stuff that happened in this episode. Alright, I'm going to be honest. It was a good episode. My only concern and, negative about this episode was the fact that when the town seems to be under attack, like, every single time, and this happens a lot, and this also happens in a lot of superhero shows regardless, there's always those stragglers that would just stare and just look before they realize that they're in danger. When they see a danger across the street, and then they just stand there, and then they realize, oh, we're in trouble, we gotta run. I hate that every single time that happens in any kind of superhero show. Ugh, drives me nuts. Also, the other thing I didn't like about this episode was the fact that, why does Lex now all of a sudden need to have Doomsday kill Superman? If he has the power suit, why doesn't he do it himself? He knows that Superman is, and he knows his identity. He knows that he has a weakened heart, that he's not exactly as Superman that he's supposed to be. So why not he just do it himself? I don't understand why he needed to have Doomsday do it again. Although I like seeing Doomsday again, more classic Doomsday look. But still, come on. If you have the powers of the Hulk, why do you need another Hulk to take out your enemy? You know what I mean? Kind of like that. But it just makes no sense. Luthor literally has a battle war machine armor that he's ready. He's souped up with his friend, souped up for him. He's ready to take out Superman. He's talking all big and mighty to take out Superman. He knows he's weak, and yet he goes off to having Doomsday do it for him. I don't get it, but whatever. Also, it looks like next week's episode, we're going to find how Superman's heart gets healed. I mean, I could be wrong, but it feels like, and it sounds like, the heart is going to get healed to be compatible with his DNA, and the sun's going to heal it completely, and he's going to live, obviously, and he's going to end on a happy note. But he's going to get beat up here. Who knows? I don't think he's going to die again. Maybe we'll get some cameos. I doubt it. I mean, I will love to see Supergirl pop up, but she's not going to show up. What's funny? This whole show started, and I noticed that there's no mention of Supergirl at all. So, I always wonder, is this the same Superman that teamed up with Supergirl and the Arrow and the Flash back in the day? Or is this a totally different Superman? Because after Crisis, then he had one kid Remember Crisis? He had one kid, and then after Crisis, he has two kids. I'm thinking that this Superman is in the Arrowverse, but it's his own thing. You know, he's not related to Supergirl's Kara and friends with the Flash and Oliver's Arrow. I think he's just a different Superman. I always wondered that, but, you know, overall, what can he do? But still, getting sidetracked here. Listen, next week's episode is the last one. I'm a little sad, but we'll see how it turns out. See how if it ends in a high note. So leave me a comment below. Let me know. Stay tuned for more. Thank you very much, and have a good night.